So we're going to start with Excel based to advanced functions and the pivot summary. Before getting into Excel, we should understand what is called data range, right? What happens, guys? I selected A1 to E9 and I put this as a border. Look at my screen, guys. I selected A1 to E9 and put it as a border. I go to this corner. I give the name here as ABC and enter. Now what happens? Whenever I select ABC, it will select this range. In this range, there is a starting cell reference. In this range, there is an ending cell reference. What is starting cell reference? We call this A1, column A, row 1. Ending cell reference is what? Column E and row 9. So ultimately, what we talk about, guys, here, we have a starting cell reference in Excel. What is the starting cell reference in Excel in this example? And we also have ending cell reference in Excel. What is that is coming now? E9. What is the data range? It is from A1 to E9. And what is the data range name we just now gave it, guys, if you remember? Exactly. So you are there with me now? Shall we go for a test? I'm not going to ask you. I will be doing it. Okay. So you know what, guys? The test is like this, where I select this range. Correct. Now I got to answer these questions. First, I select this range, go to the corner. I give the name as X, Y, and G. Now, in this, could you please tell me what is the starting cell reference? I said you will not answer, I will do it. But if your answer is good, you don't say that, sir, you said you will not ask questions. Anyways, it is going to Q13. The starting cell reference is here, L3. Ending cell reference is called Q13. Data range is called L3 to Q13. And what we call the data range name here? X, Y, G. Wonderful. Now we understand what is data range in Excel. Now there's a data range test will happen. Now real-time data will go and work. What is data is given? Let me give you the background about this data. There are people worldwide, okay, who was given online order. You're giving order some, right? When you give this order, there's an order date, there's a shipping date, there's a delivery date, and it happens that it is order is delivered to you, right? It is given that order ID, order date, shipment date, the customer who gave the order, customer name, the date of birth of the customer, the segment, which segment this customer is coming from. Is it an individual customer or it is a corporate customer? This information is given. Which city, New York City, they're from US. So most it is given about the cities in US. Which product ID they have ordered, how much, what quantity they ordered, and how much sales has happened to them. This is the data which is given to you. Now, you know what, guys, what we do here? I select this data, Control Shift, right arrow, and down arrow to select the entire range. I go to the corner, I give the range name as what? Global underscore sales. What is the data range name here? Global underscore sales. In this, what is the starting cell reference? A1. What is the ending cell reference? Can anyone tell me? K20. So what we say here, when we read this data, it is A1. It has gone to K20. Data range is A1 to K20. And data range name is what? Global underscore sales. Yes or no? Now, what is the table name? The data range name itself is called as a table now. Now, did you understand how to go for reading data? What is called table in Excel? Is this clear now? Very nice. Now, let's understand what is called relative reference versus absolute reference in Excel. Right? It is very important to know the concept called relative reference versus absolute reference. Given this table here, I just paste this table. Is that clear now? In this table, what is given? The product is given, Apple, Dell, Lenovo, Asus, and Acer, which has been sold out in the cities like Bangalore, Delhi, Chennai, and Hyderabad. Yes or no? You know what, guys? I copy this data. I just paste it over here. Okay. So what does it mean when I paste it? What I'll do here, I'll remove these values. I say equal sign, get the value from this cell reference. Right? When I will be saying enter and drag the same thing, it is what happened. It is pulling this cell reference. What is that? It is from F13 taking the value. Then after F13, what is it going for? G13, S13. Like that cell reference, the values have been pasted here. When you copy, when you give the cell reference and read the value to another blank cells, we call this as what? This is called relative reference. Is this clear now, guys? What is called relative reference? It is very important concept. Many people they start ignoring it, but I believe you should remember this forever. Your entire Excel is depending on what? How to identify relative reference and how to identify absolute reference. Now, I'll give an example of what? Absolute reference. What I'll give now, guys? Absolute reference. You know what? I take this data, I paste it over here, I go to this, but this time I deleted all these records. What will I do here? I say equal sign, get the cell value. What is the cell value I'm taking? F25. You know what? I want to put F25 functions, your keyboard keys function and the F4. The moment you say function and F4 click, it is saying dollar before F, dollar before row 25. Yes or no? That means we are going to make this as a fix, and wherever I'm going to drag this to the right, to the down, it is going to have the information about only F25. That means this is called absolute reference by rows and column. Now, we will be understanding here another example of absolute reference by row. What is the meaning by absolute reference by row? For example, given these values over here in this, I deleted, I say equal sign, get the value from here. What is the row number here? 37. Before 37, I put a dollar. So what is happening? It is going with the value of what? Row 37 value. Can you see this? Across all it is coming. This is called absolute reference by what? Row. Now we'll talk about absolute reference by what? Column. So what we'll do here, what we'll fix? In this case, if you want to go for absolute reference by column, how will you go for fixing this? You will fix the column. So how do you do that? Equal sign, get the value from here, and the column is F. Now, if you drag this, the column F value is going to replicate across all. Is that clear? So when you say absolute reference by column, you are talking about this value only. When you say absolute reference by row, you are talking about this value only. When you're talking about absolute reference by row and column, you're talking only about this value. When you say relative reference, you're talking about whole values have been pasted out here. Does it make sense to all of you guys? Is this clear? Right? So now I have a test. This test, I will be doing it or you will do it. You can answer? Okay. If you like, you can answer. Chalo. Now, given this table here, what do you see? It is given the brand, which has been sold out in India, Japan, Korea, Indonesia, Australia, New Zealand. This is the value which is coming. Can you tell me, when you see the values like this, what is that? What is that reference you read here? This is absolute reference by what? By rows and columns. Wonderful. And this is an example of what? Can anyone tell me? This is relative reference. Very nice. What do you call this example? Looking at this example, can you tell me? Hmm? Hmm? Columns. Columns. Now, this is an example of what? Exactly. Are you getting it? Is this clear now? Okay. Now, let's move on to the next. What we covered now, we understand the cell reference, we understand the data range, we understand how to go for reading a table. Now we understood what is relative versus absolute reference. Is that clear to all of you? Very nice. Now we'll talk about what? Filtering values. What is filtering values? Now this is the data. If I select this column, below here it's saying the count. Can you tell me what is the count of records in this table? 5,112 records. That means we have more than 5,000 records in this particular table. Yes or no? You know what? I want to go for filtering the value. I will be selecting my header. I'll go to data. I'll click on filter. In this filter, I want to filter the value like I want to go for Apollo as a company. I want to go for gender as a female. I want to go for age, number filter, which is greater than 50 years of age. Perfect. I want to go for the state code, which I want to select for New South Wales NSW. I want to go for spend amount who has spent more than $1,000. I want to give a filter like this. The moment I give the filter, this is what the filter output which is coming. Apollo female, age greater than 50, state code is New South Wales and has spent more than $1,000. Had it been happened, if I would have selected here, this is greater than $500, I would be getting more filter values. Now, when you give this filter, what you can do, you can copy this filter value, Control C. You can paste in the next available blank sheet. You should not be copying and paste in the same sheet where you're making the filter. Remember this, it is a practice that we have to do it. Is this clear to all of you guys? Chalo, I'll have a test now. Ready for this? Now, company, I want to go for company as Apollo, Cipla, Geno. I want to go for gender as both male and female. I want to go for the age, which is between 30 and 60. I want to go for looking at the state code, which is New South Wales, Queensland, and West Australia. I want to select all the spend amount, which is greater than $300. So if I do like this, I filter my values. Yes or no? When I filter my values, what will do here? Control Shift, right arrow to down arrow to copy this data. And where do you want to paste this? In another sheet, not in the same sheet. Is this clear to all of you? Clear? Chalo. Now let's move to the next, which is called sorting data. What we want to do now? Sorting data. Now it is given the student name and the score. You know what, guys? I want to see the student name alphabetical order, which is A to Z. How will I do this? I'll select my student name. I'll go to data. Under data, I have sort and filter. I can go to A to Z. The moment I click on A to Z, what will happen? It is saying expand the selection. It is going to be alphabetical. A to Z is coming. I can easily find out the name looking at the alphabetical order, right? Now, somebody has given me and asking, hey, could you please help me to find out who are the highest scorer? From this data, if I want to find out who are the highest score, what I will do now? I'll go to the score, I'll go to the data, sorting, I'll say Z to A, descending order. I can find out Aryan Chaudhary followed by Rohan Desai. These are the top scorer. This is how we can go for sorting data. Sorting data by what? Only 2 columns. What if you have more than 2 columns in the table? For example, it is given here, student name, application name is Excel, student name, application name is SQL, student name, application name is SAS, how much they have scored. Are you getting this, guys? Now, in this table, you have been asked, hey, could you please find out each application wise who are the highest scorer? Who is the highest scorer in Excel? Who is the highest scorer in SQL? Who is the highest scorer in SAS? Since it is a 3 columns, I'll select all these 3 columns, going to data, going for sort and filter, I'll click on this. Z to A and A to Z. Is that clear? Then the first level is here. I want to choose the application. I want to choose the score. It should be in largest to smallest. If I do so, what will happen now? It is easy for me to read the data. I can see who is the highest scorer in Excel now, guys. Tell me, guys. Who is the highest scorer in SAS now? And who is the highest scorer in SQL? I can easily find it out because I saw the data. Is that clear now? Same way, if I go for making a filter on these values, I look for a student name called Ananya Bhatia. Now, Ananya Bhatia has appeared for applications like SQL, SAS, Python, machine learning. In what? Infosys has also appeared for the same test in what? Wipro has appeared for the same test in what? TCS and Accenture, and she has scored something. Yes or no? Now, given this table, there is a task is given which we need to solve now. What the task is given? Let me find it out here. The task is given in this way. Get student and company-wise highest scoring application name. I wrote this. I will say wrap text, middle order, make the font to red and bold. Get the student and company-wise highest scoring application name. How will I go for doing this from this table? I will be selecting all these columns. I'll go for data. I'll go for customs. What the first thing I have to select here? I have to select my student name. Second is what? By company, right? Third, I will be selecting as my score in what? Largest to smallest. If I do that, I can find it out. Ananya Bhatia, who is in Accenture and highest scoring subject name is what? Machine learning. Yes or no? Ananya Bhatia in Infosys, which is the highest scoring subject? SAS. Ananya Bhatia in TCS, which is the highest scoring subject? Ananya Bhatia is in Wipro, which is the highest scoring subject? SAS. Did you understand how to go for sorting data? Is this clear to all of you guys? Very nice. Now let's move on to removing duplicates. Look at this name. Do you think is there any duplication? Do you think is there any duplication in the data? What do you see? So how many duplicates are there? Can you find it out? How to find out the unique values? You can select this column, copy and paste it in another column, go to data. Under data tools, you have something called remove. Just to say remove duplicates, it is removing the duplicate to give you all the unique values. Is that clear now? Okay. Now look at this table, guys. Okay. In this table, is there duplicate values? Tell me. Duplicate values. Where do you see the duplicate values? One duplicate value is here. Another one is what? Ria Patel, right? And did you say the duplicate value by one column? No, you are looking for all corresponding columns. What is corresponding column? Student name, application, company, and score. Comparing all 4, you're deciding whether it's a duplicate or not. Yes or no? Now, how many records are there? How many records are there now, guys? 10. How many unique records are there? If you exclude these duplicate values, 8 is the unique records. How will you get that? Select all these columns, go to data, then go for removing duplicates. If you do remove duplicates, what is happening? It is going to give you all the unique 8 records. So you know how to go for removing duplicate from single column, how to go for removing duplicate from multiple columns. Is this clear to all of you guys, everyone? Clear? Very nice. Next is called text to column. What is that? Text to column. If I say A, pipe B, pipe C, pipe D, what is the separator? What is the separator between A, B, C, D? Vertical bar, or we call pipe. Yes or no? So now, when you say A's pipe or vertical bar to B, vertical bar to C and D, in this case, if I want to separate them all, I will select this column, go to data. I have something called text to column. Can you see this? Text to column is saying delimited by what? Delimited by your others as pipe. Now, can you see it is separated? Yes or no? Sure. If you understand this, now I have another question. If I say A @B @C @D, what is the delimiter? @. How will you do that? Text to column, delimited. In the others, you will be using as what? @. Does it work? Right. Perfect. Now I will have a test. In this data, it is given product Bangalore, Delhi, Chennai, and Hyderabad. What is the delimiter? Comma. So how to make them into a table? You can select this column, text to column, delimited. You'll be going by what? Comma. The moment you do that, you see your table is coming. Everyone, did you understand what is called text to column? Right? Okay. Now we'll talk about what? If nested if condition. We'll go with what? If nested if condition. There is a condition is given. If the score greater or equal to 50, we will call them as what? Pass. If the score is less than 50, I want to call them as what? Fail. So this is the condition for what? This is the condition for my result. Is that clear now, guys? This is given condition for my result. How to get this? I will say if bracket start, the cell value is what? B2. If it is greater than equal to 50, I want to call them as what? Pass. Else I want to call them as what? Fail. Why I'm putting in double quote? It is a character string value. The moment I say enter and I drag this down, what is happening guys here? Whoever has scored greater than equal to 50 is saying pass, others are saying fail. Now I will be going for creating another condition here. This condition is for what? Division. Right? What is the division? Greater or equal to 60. I want to call them as what? Score greater or equal to 60. I want to call them as first division. Right? If the score greater or equal to 50 and score less than 60, what I want to call these guys here? Second division. If the score greater or equal to 40 and less than 50, you want to call them as what? Third division. If the score greater or equal to 30 and less than 40, you want to call them as what? Pass. If the score less than 30, you want to call them as what? Fail. Is this clear? Now, how will you give this multiple condition to this? This is called nested if condition. This is simply called if then condition. This is called nested if then else condition. Does it make sense to all of you guys? Everyone, are you getting this? Right? So how to go for doing this? You will write here, if this value always start the higher condition, greater or equal to 60. What do you want to call these guys here? Again, if this cell value greater or equal to 50, what do you want to call these guys here? Second. Again, if this cell value greater or equal to 40, you want to call them as what? Third. Again, if this cell value greater or equal to 30, you want to call them as what? Pass. Else, the last condition is what? Fail. How many if I have written? 4. I have to close the bracket by 4. And I say enter. If I do this, did I get my output here? Now what I will do, I'll copy this and I'll be pasting this here condition. I will be copying this here, going here, I will be pasting this. So this is an example for you guys to understand how the if then condition happens. From this, I copy this entirely. I come over here and I say paste this. So when I'm pasting this, is this clear now, guys? Clear to everyone? Now we'll talk about what, guys? VLOOKUP. Have you heard about VLOOKUP? When you look for the lookup value in a vertical order which is given. For example, this is the table name. What's the table name? Employee ID. first name, last name, gender, email, and date of joining is given. This is called employee details. Yes or no? So shall I select this range? Going to the corner, I call this EMP underscore details. What is the table name now? Employee details. I gave this table name. You know what? I want to find it out given this employee ID, which is coming from this column only. Yes or no? I want to get their first name. I want to get their date of joining. I want to get their gender details. I want to get their email ID. So that means I want to get these values, information from this is the table. So what happens in VLOOKUP, guys? When I say VLOOKUP, the VLOOKUP is having 4 criteria. One is called lookup value. Second one is called table array. Third one is called column index and range. I will explain that what is that mean. The lookup value is what? This employee ID. The table array is what? I can go for selecting this table range. Yes or no? When I select the table range is coming with what? Range name, right? Now, which column in this table, the first name is coming? This is the first column, this is the second column. So like 2. And range lookup is always 0 or false. We can write 0. The moment I run this, I can get my output is coming. Is that clear? Now I will explain what is happening here. The moment you write this, right? The moment you write this, when it's a VLOOKUP, what do you call this guys here? VLOOKUP. That means vertical lookup. It has 4 criteria. How many criteria? What are those criteria first? Lookup value. Then you will have table array. Third one is what? Column index. Last one is what? Range lookup. Is this clear to all of you? Now in this, what is the lookup value? J2. What's the table array? Employee details. What is this column index? What is this range lookup? Did you understand? Everyone. Is it that difficult to understand? Okay. But yes, VLOOKUP has so many things we have to do it now. But did you understand this concept well? Is this clear to all of you? Chalo, let's try this. Next example is what? To get the date of joining. What will I write here? VLOOKUP. What is the lookup value? Employee ID name, J2. Right? Then what is the table array? I will not select range. I'll select by column. A to F. That is also fine. Yes or no? Then what is the column index for your date of joining? Which column it is coming? 6. Column index is 6. Then I will say range lookup is what? 0. Yes. Clear? Now, when I drag this, it is coming as what? Number of days. Right click on this, do a format cell, make it to a date value. Does it make sense? Now, how to get the gender? Can anyone answer me? VLOOKUP. What is the lookup value here? J2, very nice. What's the table array? Column A to F. Now you tell me which column index for gender? 4. And what is the range lookup? 0. Wonderful. Now, how to get email? What light here? VLOOKUP. What is the lookup value? And what's the table array? I select my range now. When I select my range, what is going to come? The range name is what? Employee details. Now, which column is for my email ID? 5. I like 5. Then range lookup is 0. Did I get my output here, everyone? Did I get my output? Is it that difficult to understand? Pakka? Chalo, theek hai. If it is not difficult, now you need to answer this to me. Ready for this answer? Okay. Now look at here. Tell me, guys, what is the lookup value? What is the lookup value? J2. What is the table array? A to F. Did we write these details? No. If we select the range, range name. If we do not select the range name, by column reference. What is this column index here? Very nice. And what is the range lookup? Fantastic. Understood? Don't you think it's a very painful job? Don't you think it's a very painful job? Painful job for what? Searching the column index 5, 3, 2. It's a very painful job. Yes or no? Right? How to come out of this pain? We need to have a painkiller. Correct? Shall we go for the painkiller now? Okay. What is the painkiller? Tell me, guys, what is the position of first name? 2. You know what? I will use a function called match. Match of what? First name. In the lookup array of what? All the header. And match type is what? 0. If I do so, it is giving 2. Now let's say, what is the column index for date of joining? Tell me. 6. How will you get it? Match. What is the lookup value? What is the lookup value, guys? Date of joining. What is the lookup array? Lookup array. Match type is what? 0. What is this position is coming? 6. Yes or no? If you're using match function, you can easily find out what? The position of the column. Now, what is the position for gender? Can anyone tell me? 4. How will you get it? Match. What is the lookup value? Gender. Gender is what? K8. What is the lookup array? A1 to F1. What is the match type? What is coming here? 4. So whenever we use match function, it has how many criteria, guys? 1, 2, and 3. The first one is what? When you write match, what is coming here? Lookup value, lookup array, and match type. We'll say lookup value. Second one is what? Lookup array. And third one is what? Match type. So ultimately, when you applied this, what is the lookup value? What is the lookup value? L4. What is the lookup array? A1 to F1. What is the lookup? What is the match type? Very nice. Now let's look for this. You tell me, guys, what was the lookup value here? J4. What was the lookup array? A1 to F1. What is the match type here? Right. In this, what was changing, guys? The match, the lookup value. Yes or no? So did you understand how things happen, everyone? Clear now? Clear? How to find out the column position? Now let's do this here. Same data, we want to get the value here. We will not go for defining column index. Automatically will happen. One light here, we look up. What's the lookup value? J2. What's the table array? Or you can just go for selecting this range. Yes or no? Now, what is the column index? Yes. Match of what? First name. Over what? A2, A1 to F1. Match type is 0. The range lookup is 0. Did I get my output? Yes or no? Now, I want to drag this to the right. Drag this to the down. How will I go for doing this? When you drag this, do you think that this J2 is going to be changing? No, right? In J2, when you drag, it should be going for J2 only. Yes or no? So J2 means what is going to fix here? Absolute reference by column. What is not going to change here? Table array will never change. Absolute reference for both rows and columns. When is a match type, it will go from K1 to L1 to J1. What is fixed here? Row is fixed. Absolute reference by row. Your lookup array is never going to change. Make it to fix. Absolute reference by rows and columns. If you drag this, hello. If you drag this to the right, to the down, you get this output is coming. Hello. Does it make sense to all of you guys? Is that clear? Now, understand what is happening. I'll do it one more time, nothing to worry. I know confusion will start here. Okay, so now understand this concept very well. In VLOOKUP, how many criteria you have? 4 criteria. The first one is what? Lookup value. Second one is what? Table, array. Third one is what? Column, index. Last one is what? Range, lookup. Given at the top, what is your lookup value? What is your table array? It is fixed. Yes or no? What is your column index? You are using by what? And what is your range lookup? Did you understand, guys? Right? Now, whatever we did now, we'll repeat the same thing one more time. We'll repeat it for one more time so that you can understand the concept very well. Remove. Done? What will I do here now, guys? I will write VLOOKUP. What's the lookup value? What is my table array? A1 to F25. What is the column index? After this is what? Match. Match of what? First name. What is the lookup array? F1. Match type is what? Lookup is what? 0. When I'll drag it down, what will go from J2 to J3, right? When drag it to the right, it should become consistent with what? Column J. So what is going to fix here? Column J, not 2, column J. Absolute reference by column. Your table array will never change. It remains same. Absolute reference by what? Rows and columns. Now, when you drag it, match of what? K1 to L1 to M1, what is going to fix here? Row 1, absolute reference by row. And your lookup array will never change. Function F4, absolute reference by rows and columns. Now, If you drag this to the right, to the down, it is going to come. And the date of join is coming by number of days. Select this, right click, format cell, make it to a date value. Does it make sense to all? They took 2 days to understand because of this Excel with match function. But did you understand? Without practice, you cannot remember. But the concept is clear to all of you guys? Very good. Now we'll have a VLOOKUP test. Ready for this? Who can answer? Now let's do, this is student name. Application like Excel, VBA, SQL, Python, SAS, Tableau, Power BI, Big Data, Machine Learning is given. I select this. I call this range name as what? Student underscore score. Clear now? What I want to find out, few of the students, I want to get their score for Excel. I want to go for their Python. I want to go for the Tableau, Big Data, and Machine Learning score here. What will I do now? I write. What is the lookup value? M2, Ravi. What is the table array? Which is coming as a table name, student underscore score. What I write here? Match of what? Over what? Very nice. Match type is what? Range lookup is what? 0. What is going to fix here? Column. And I don't have to worry about my table array. It is already fixed by the table name. What is going to fix here? N1 to O1 to P1. Reference by row, row 1. What is going to fix here? My lookup array is going to fix? Yes or no? When I drag this to the right, to the down, does it give me the right output? What is the score for Ravi in Excel? What is the score for Ravi in Python? Or what is the score for Ravi in Tableau? What is the score for Ravi in Big Data? What is the score for Ravi in Machine Learning? It's all happening. Can we check the last for Harika? What is the Harika score in Excel? And for Python, Tableau, Big Data, and Machine Learning is what? Is it coming correct? So is this clear to all of you guys? Very nice. Shall we get into Excel charts? Pakka? Chalo. Why we go for creating a chart? Looking at this data, can you tell me which country is having highest population? India. How did you know India? Because your series of data is only for 10. You have 10 records, 10 series of information. Imagine my data is 20, 30. Is it that easy to understand looking at the number? How will you go for presenting this? I will be selecting this range, going to insert. I have charts. I will choose it as what? Vertical bar chart. When I make this vertical bar chart, does it make sense to all of you guys? What is confusing me here? What is confusing me here? Confusing these numbers. Delete this. What is confusing me here? These grid lines. Remove this. What is confusing me here? The population title by what light here? By countries. Is that clear now? What is confusing me? Looking at the bar this way, I can go to select this population, data. I will choose into what? Descending order. It make more sense. Yes or no? Now I can say the top 3 countries by population, it is India, China, and United States. Are you getting this? So what you can do here, to right click, format data series, reduce the gap width as much as you can. Clear now? You can select this, go to format at the top, choose the different color to this. Making sense? Now, selecting this is, in this chart, there are some objects. So now this is called chart area, right click, format chart area, make the border as what? Rounded corner. What did you do now? It's a rounded corner. Selecting this chart, go to format, choose the background color to this color, make the outline border to black color, choose this border weight to 4 points. Now select the data series, are the data labels. Are you getting this, guys? How to go for presenting your chart? Clear? Chalo. This is called vertical bar chart. What is horizontal bar chart? Select this here, go to insert, create a chart. You will do it as what? This way. Your data series is what? Given as Bangladesh to China. It starts with what? China to Bangladesh. First of all, you have to go to the population, data, descending order. Does it make sense? I should present this what? Highest to lowest or lowest to highest? Highest to lowest. So I can select this axis, format axis. I will have categories in reverse order. I don't want to show this axis. Well, I don't want to show this grid lines. I want to select this all, format data series, reduce the gap width. I can add data labels to this. I can select this border, format chart area. I can go for the border to rounded corner. Selecting this, I can go to format, choose the background color, give this outline shape to weight as what? 4 points. Does it make sense? This is looking good or this is looking good. The visualization which can make you more quickly take decision. You can easily identify India is the number one in terms of total population today, followed by China and United States. Next is called pie chart. Why we go for pie chart? Why we go for pie chart? We want to show this segmentation chart, right? So I can go to the data, always go to present the data in what? Descending order. Selecting this data, I create, insert a pie chart. I get the pie chart here. Can you see this? So in this pie chart, what is happening? I don't want to keep the title, remove this. I want to keep this legends, remove this. It is difficult to find out what this orange color is defined, which country is defined. Is it difficult to say? What is blue is defined? It is difficult to say that. You can select this, right click, add data labels. You can select the data labels, say format data labels by adding what? Category name. Instead of the values, I would choose what? Percentage. So now I can present India, the entire worldwide population, 31% population stays in what? India. 30% population stays in what? China. And 7% population stays in what? United States. That is how we can show it through the segmentation chart. How to make this border to a curvy format chart area? Make it rounded corner. Go to the format, outline shape to 4 points. Background is what? Brown color, light brown color. Is this clear now, guys? You know what, guys? I can select this data. I can go to insert. I want to go for 3D chart. What I'll do now, guys, here, right? So I'll be going for 3D chart. I'll remove my title. I would remove my legends. I'll select this. I'll make it as a tablet look. What is that called? Tablet. I can select this explosion data series. I make little explosion. Separate them all. Got it? Select these data labels. I will say format data labels by what? Category and percentage. Clear now? I can select this. I can choose the background color to this, something like this color. I can make format chart area to what? A rounded corner as the border. Select this to which point? Which one is looking good? This one is looking good or this one is looking good? The more 3D we see, we are happy. And this is where we move from Excel to Tableau and Power BI, advanced visualization future. But Excel is father of data science and data analytics. If you're strong in Excel, you can do anything in your life. You have to strong in Excel. That is very, very important. है ना? ठीक है. Okay. Now moving to the next, we'll talk about line chart. Why we go for line chart? We want to see the trend. What is happening? Jan to December, how the sales is. 2015, 2024, how the population has come. I want to see the trend. How will I see the trend? I can select this data. I can go for insert and I can go for creating as a line chart. Can you see this, guys? What is confusing here? Right click, select data. In the line chart, you're not supposed to take as what? Year. Remove this. Where you want to put this year? In this x-axis, select these year values. Now it is showing as years here. Got it? So this is what the trend shows how the sales has happened over the time. Sorry, how the population is growing over the time. You can select this axis, right? You can see the population approximation, which shows to the trend line how it has happened. So is that clear to all of you guys? Everyone? Chalo. I'll do something here. It is given the month. Month is starting from what? Jan to December. Clear now? It is given sales. What I do here, I use a function in Excel called random between. It will take 1000 to 10,000. The bottom value is what? 1000. Top value is what? 10,000. It's going to take some random number in between. Is that clear now? Chalo. I copy this and I say paste spatial values because it's a formula driven. I want to make it as a value. Now, how my Jan to December sales is happening? I can select this, insert. I can go for creating a line chart like this. Yes or no? What title I will give it here? Sales trend. Yes or no? I can remove this axis. I can see the sales was declining from March. All of a sudden, July it got up, then down, then again up, then again down in the month of December. Yes or no? Now I can select this line. I can go to the format data series. I can make the line a smoothen line. Reduce the line size to 1.25. I can show my trend this way. Yes or no? How will I go for doing this? Format chart area, make it rounded corner, choose the background color this way, make this outline to 4 point. You can select the line here, format data series, choose the line color, give it to yellow. Is this clear now? You can go to this pointer, add data labels. You can see this now, how the trend is happening over the time and how the sales has gone month over month. Is that clear? Right. Now we'll do a combo chart. What is combo chart? You are seeing the sales is what? 2015 to 2024, the sales is happened. And what is the growth in the sales happened? This is given percentage. There are two series values. One is what? Number. Another one is what? Percentage. When you select this, right? Insert and create a chart. Does it look good, everyone? No. You will say right click, select data. What you don't want to show here? Year. And where do you want to present year? X-axis. Edit. Take these years over here. Apply. Can you see this? Now it shows that sales values, but percentage is hidden here. Why it is hidden? Because percentage cannot be shown by what? Number. So what you can do here? Right click, change chart type. What do you choose here? Combo. Sales is what? Clustered column. Growth is what? Let's say line chart, line with markers. This should be in what? Secondary axis. Now you can see secondary axis presenting for what? Percentage. Primary axis presenting for what? So what the title will give it here? Sales versus growth rate in what? Percentage. You can remove these grid lines. You can select this format chart area to what? Rounded corner. You can give the background to gray color and make the border to what? Is that clear? I will do this one more time. I know that there is a confusion. Shall I repeat this? What will I do now, guys? Select all. Going to insert, create as what? Chart. I got the chart here. Everyone, I got the chart here. What is confusing? I'll say right click, select data. What I'm not supposed to keep here? Where I want to keep the year? X-axis. Edit, select the values from. Is that clear now? Right? What is not coming here? Growth. Why? Because growth cannot be coming with number. It has to be separate axis. So what you do here, right click, change chart type. What do you select here? Combo. In the combo, growth. What do you want to select here? Line with marker. Make it as what? Okay. Does it come now? Can you compare this? What do you want to change the title here? Is that clear? How do you want to present this? Select this. Background, outline with what point? How to make this border curvy? Format chart area. Going to the border. The last option saying that. Does it happen? I can do a comparison. I can select my format area. Reduce the gap width. You can present this way. I can select my line. I want to make this line as what? Smoothen line to a point of what? 1.25. Does it work? Is this clear? Right. So we'll be starting with the Excel functions, guys. The character functions, how it works. There's a function called opper. If you're using opper and you take the value, what will happen? It will read everything into capital. Are you seeing this, guys, here? When you say lower, what lower will do? It'll read everything into what? Lowercase. When you say proper, what it'll do now, guys, here? It'll read everything into what? Proper case, right? If I say I want to find out the position for space in between Debendra Das, so where is the space position coming? Can anyone tell me? So what is space position? Can you read from the alphabet? 9. So how do you find this? You will write find, put in double quote a space within this text. What is coming here now, guys? It is coming 9. Is that clear now? If I write Kabir Sharma, what the space position in this? Is it coming 6 here? Are you getting this? Okay. There's a function called mid. If I say mid of this value from 1 to 3, that means from the first character to 3 characters. What is that the character is going to come? A, B, C. Are you getting it? When I say mid from the second character to 3 characters, what will come now? I'll say from this, it is going to second to 3 characters means B, C, D. So this is what the function called what? Mid function. How to concatenate two values? You can use the function called concatenate. This, you can put a space, comma, then this. What is going to happen here, guys? Is going to get you as DVAnalytics. Yes or no? I can also do the same thing. This, ampersand, space, ampersand, this. This is also giving the output here. Right. How to find out the length? How many characters length it is? A, B, C, D, 5? 5. If you're using a function called length of this, what is happening? 5. Can you see there are some leading spaces? There are some trailing spaces? Yes or no? If I want to remove this space, what will I write here? Remove what? This is coming only ABCD. Can you see this? Can you see it is coming ABC hyphen DF hyphen GHI? I want to replace what? Hyphen. I will use the function called substitute of what? This with what text? Hyphen. You want to put it as just as it is. Is that clear now? Now, if you want to replace, what will I write here? Equals sign, replace, what's saying here? Old text. What is the number you want to find it out? You will say find the position of what? Hyphen within this. From there, how many characters? One character. As what? Blank. So now it is coming as what? ABC, it is removing this hyphen in between. Is that clear now? So this is how we can go for find and replace. What is repeat? If you're using a function called a repeat, if I say this to be repeat for 10 times, what will happen here? It is repeating 10 times. When I say small DVAnalytics, it is written as what? Capital, written as what? Small. If I say exact to compare this to this, is it same? It will say false. Had it been happen, DVAnalytics in capital, it will say what? Had it been happen, DVAnalytics in capital say true. Is it a number or text? If you search is text, what it will show you? False. Clear now? So these are some of the character functions. I'll give an example to you. How to find out the first 3 characters, 3 letters? I can use a function called left of this with 3. Got it now? Middle 3, what I'll write here? Mid of what? This 2 to 3. How to see the last 3? What do you write here? Right of this with what? 3. Is it clear now? What is the space position in this name? How will you find it? Find space within what? Umang Kathuria, right? What is it coming? Is giving the space position in each row? Yes or no? How to find out the first name? Find is equal. Like mid of this name. From what? First character? To how many characters you want to go for? This minus 1. Is it coming first name? Yes or no? How to find out the last name? What do I write here? Mid of this. Starting from which position? Space? Space plus 1. For how many characters? Let's say 20 characters. Is it coming? Now let's do this here. You want to concatenate this name with space. What do I write here? This ampersand. Again ampersand to what? This is using what? Ampersand. Concatenate, how will I write here? This with what? Is that clear now, guys? Right. I give one more example. Sachin Tendulkar. What's his name? Sachin Tendulkar. How to get the first name and last name? First name and last name. You tell me how to get that. You will use what? Mid of what? Name. Starting from how many characters? To what?
Space.
Find. Find space of what? Within? Wherever the space position is coming, minus 1. To these many characters you want to read? Is it coming? Is it coming now, guys? How to get Endulkar? Of what? Then find of what? Wherever space position coming, plus 1. To how many characters? Let's say 20 characters. Is it coming? Right? It is written Sachin Endulkar. Is it right? What is written here? So, but you want to change it to what? How will you change it? Substitute. Of what? Text. What is what is that text? Endulkar. Endulkar, right? What do you want to change it to? Does it come? Now, how to do that in using replace? This is using?
Replace space with space T.
Yes. You understand this? You will write equal sign. Replace. Whole text is what? This. You will find what? Endulkar. Yes or no? From what? From this text. Close. From there, how many characters you want to change? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8. 4, 4, 8. Endulkar is what? 8 characters. How do you want to change it to? Does it change? So which one is complicated in nature? So what you will prefer to use? We always go for what? Substitute. We do not like to write what? This is the reality. Yes or no, guys? Since you answered this, shall we go for a test? Test is given this customer name. You want to get the first name and last name. What will you do now? Made of what? From how many characters you will start? First character to what? Find of what? Within what? Minus. What will happen now?
First.
Happy? How to go for last name? Mid of what? Find of what? Of what?
Plus.
Plus 1 to 20 characters, 30 characters, whatever you want. Did you get the last? Everyone? Now, how to get the full address? How will I get the full address? This. What will do here? Concatenate of what? This. With what? Again what?
Comma. City.
Again what? Yes or no? Of what?
C.
Does it work? Does it work? Right. How to get the phone number? Removing hyphen. What will write here? What do you want to find? Replace this to what? Nothing. Is it coming the phone number? Yes or no? Now do this for phone number 2. Right? How do you go for doing this? Phone 2, cleaning. You will use what? Substitute. What's the text? What do you want to replace? Hyphen with what? Is this clear? Right. Done. All character function is finished in Excel. Is it that difficult, guys? Understood? Shall we move to numeric function? Now, in Excel, we go for addition, multiplication, division, and what? Subtraction. This is called expressions. What do you call these guys here? Expressions. Okay? So how do you go for expressions? You say equal sign, get this value, give a plus to this value. Get it? For multiplication, take this value, put a star, and to get this value. Done. Division, you take this value, put a slash to this division. Subtraction, take this value, hyphen to this. So what are you selecting here? You are selecting the symbol called plus. Are you getting this? You are selecting the symbol plus. Here, you are using the symbol plus Now here you're using hyphen slash, right? Now here you're using what? That is going to what? Hyphen. Is this clear to all of you? Increase the font, bold, middle align. Clear now? Now next is coming how to get this product sales for Bangalore, Delhi, Chennai, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Bhubaneswar, Kolkata, total sales. I'll write this sum of. Is it clear now? How to go for average sales? What write here? Average of these series values. Yes or no? Now, how to go for the minimum sales? Mean function of this. This is called aggregation of minimum. How to go for maximum? We'll be using the function called max of all these values. Does it make sense to all of you guys, everyone? Is this clear? Right. Now there's something called count and count A. What is given here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, D, E, and 6, 7, 8, 9 to 14. When you say, I want to go by count of these series values, what are the values going to come in here, guys? What it's showing here? Count will get the count of numeric values. Does it take care of what? Character? No. So what we'll do here? You will use count with alphabet. Count A with count, number, and alphabets. So how do you go for doing this? Yes, you will say equal sign, count A. Select all this range over here. What is it coming? 19. Is that clear now? Okay. How to look for count? How many blanks are there, guys? So what light here? Count blank. In what? What is coming here? This is the example of what? Does it clear now? Is this a number or character? How to check it? Is number to this. It will give you the Boolean value, true or false. Yes or no, guys? Whether the number is coming true, whether it is not number is coming false. Is text. What light here? What does it do? Numbers are what? False. ABCD is going to be true. Clear now? Does it make sense to all of you guys, everyone? Right. Now we'll talk about count if and count ifs. In this student name, how many times Pratik is coming? Can anyone count? 10 times Pratik is coming. How many times Kajal is coming? Sorry? Let's say delete. Now you tell me how many times Kajal is coming? 8. What light here? You will use the function name called if. What's the function name? Count if. What is the range? Y. What is the criteria? Drag it. It's saying, is it clear? Everyone, it is that difficult or it is easy to understand? Clear now? Now we'll talk about count ifs. How many times Pratik Infosys is coming? How many times Pratik Wipro is coming? 6 times. How to go for getting the count ifs means not one criteria, 2 criteria together. What will say here? Count ifs. What's the criteria range 1? What is the criteria? What the second criteria range? What the second criteria? Is it coming? Is it coming, guys? Is it difficult to understand? Now you understand how it is coming? Now why I'm saying this? Because I'll do the same repetition now. The test. Is this clear? Chalo. Look at here. What is Pratik's total score? If you select this, what the total score is coming? What is Kajal's total score is coming? What light here? Sum it. What is the range?
81.
This all. Yes or no? What is the criteria? What is the sum range? Score. Only the header. Right? What is going to fix here, guys? What are you going to fix here? Does it come? So let's do this example here. I'll give some more examples on this now. I'll go for what? Sum ifs. Now I want to see Pratik total score in what? Infosys. So how will I go for doing this? What is the sum range? Total score? What's the criteria range 1? Criteria range is what? This. What's the criteria? What's the second criteria range? What's the second criteria? Right? Is it Pratik in Infosys? What's the total score? Is it coming? Now in this case, guys, just drag this down. You get the output here. I'll do it one more time here for you guys. Now let's do this example from this table. How many times Havila is repeated? How many times Priyanka is there? Can you tell me? What is the count for Havila? 10. And what is the count for Priyanka? It is 10. Now let's copy this and paste it here. Go to data and remove duplicates. Now I want to get count for what? Havila and Priyanka. What do you write here? Count if. Yes or no? What is the range? This is the range. What is the criteria? Hello. What is the criteria? If I drag this, what is it giving here? Right. Now I go for this is the name and year. If I say remove duplicates. Now I want to see the count for what? Havila in 2020, how many times? Havila in 2021, how many times? What I write here? Count ifs. What is the criteria range? What is the criteria here? What is the second criteria range? What is the second criteria here? If I drag this, does it give me output? Is it clear? Is this clear now? Right. Now we'll go for sum if. What will go, guys, here? Sum if. Now let's take this here. Remove this, remove this. I want to get that total score. Clear now? Now, how will I get the total score here? What like here? Sum if. What is the range? Table. What is the criteria? What is the sum range? Only score. What is going to fix here? What is going to fix here? Is not going to change? Yes or no? Constant. If I drag this, is it giving right output for Havila? Look at here. Is it 683? It's coming. Did you understand how sum if works? Okay. Now I want to see Havila for 2020. What I like here? Sum ifs. What is the sum range? Score only. What is the criteria range 1? What is the criteria for this? What is the second criteria range? What is the second condition for this? Now you don't have to fix anything. You just call this. Havila for 2020. What is the total score is coming? Is coming. Havila for 2021. What is the score is coming? Is it coming? It is very painful. Trust me, it is very painful. We'll not use this pain. We'll go for pivot to get it easy. Yes or no? So I'm just showing the actual pain, but we'll ignore this pain. Okay? But few more functions left. We'll talk about it. What is the meaning of product and what is the meaning of sum product? Yes, what's your question?
In the sum ifs one, when we are selecting the score as the range in the first column, we not doing the dollar thing like.
When you select the entire column, it will not drag down. If it is C, means C.
Okay, when we select just the header, it might drag down.
Yes.
When we are selecting the column,
It's not drag. So we don't have to go for fixing. Fantastic. Good question. Hey guys, what is the meaning of product and sum product? Every interview you go for, this question will ask. What is the difference between product and sum product? Product means 10 into 20 is what? 200. 230 is what? 6,000. 6,040 is what? 24,000. 24,050 is what? He's going to multiply each and every number. The moment you say product, product of what? These numbers and what? These numbers. He's going to multiply everything to get the value. But when it's a sum product, what will happen? What is this? This into this. What is the value? 200. Is that clear now? If you make it total sum, how the sum is going to come? It's coming to 4400. Yes or no? So now let's apply it here called sum product. Sum product is what? Array is this. Second array is what? This. So product is what? Multiplication to each series. We use this kind of language, series. This is called product and addition to each row of series values. Does it make sense? Everyone? Clear now? Clear now? When you're using power function, power of 5 to the power 3, what is the value is going to come? 125. When you say square root of 20, what is the value is going to come in? 5. When you say mode of 23 divided by 11, what is the remainder? 1. It's going to give the remainder. Now, if you say integer function to this value, is going to give you as what? 123. If you say round of this value with 0, what is the value is going to come in? When you say round up to this value with 1, what will happen here?
22.
What is happening here? 123.8. When you say round down, what will happen here? 123.7 only. Up means 7 to 8. 7 means 7. When you say ceiling, upper value of this with 1, what is the value is going to come? 124. When you say flooring, yes, it will come as. Is this clear now, guys? Everyone? Clear now? So the numerical function is over. Now, the great part of date functions will be doing it here. Is that clear now? When you say equal sign, now bracket start close, what will happen? Current date and time will come. When you say today in Excel and say bracket start close, what will happen? Today's date. When you say month function of what? Today's date, what is the value is going to come in? 12 months in December. When you say day function of today, what value is going to come in? 12. 12 means what? 12th day. When you say year function of today's date, what is going to retrieve here? 2025. When you say date function, selecting year separately, month separately, and day separately, what will happen now? It'll convert to a date value. How to go for year, month? You like year of today's date. Yes or no? Multiplied with 100 plus month of today's date. What is the year? 2025. Multiplied by 100. What is the value? 2025 plus 12 months. What is the value is going to come in? 2025 12. That means year month value is coming. No? चलो ठीक है मैं बताता हूँ अभी. 02 23 2023. What is the date value, guys? Let's say 23 02 2020. What is the date value? Now, if I say year month, what value should come? 2023. It should come as what? 2023 02. Yes or no? So how do you get that? First, you want to go for year. Second, you want to go for month. Then you have to go for year into 100 plus month. I want to show you that manually here. I like year of what? What is it retrieving now? 2023. Month of what? Date. What is it retrieving? 2. Year month कैसे निकालोगे? Year into 100 plus month. Is it coming? Did you understand why we go for this? Okay. When you say hour, what it will bring you here? Hour from what? Current date time, which is 12. What is the minute? What will bring you guys here? It will bring it as what? 01. When is the second? What is going to bring here? Hey guys, what is going to bring here? 42 seconds. When you say weekday, from today's date, which week it is running? Weekday. 6 means what? Sunday is going to be what, guys? 1. Monday is 2. Like that. We have 7 days. Today is what? Friday. 6. Week num in a year, How many weeks are there? 52. Yes or no? Which week is running now? 50. The 50th week of the year is running. 2 more weeks are there to say Happy New Year. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Now, let's say, what is today's date, guys? Got it? I will use a function called text. What is that? Text to this date value with dd dd. Is that okay? So when I do this, what is happening? It is giving the value of what? 12. 12. And it is character. When I say text of this date with which format? What is the date is coming here? Friday. When I say text format of this date, which is given by what? What is happening now? Full name is coming. Is that clear? Now what I'll do here, I will say text of this value with what format? This. What is not going to change here? If I drag down. Is this clear? Is this clear to all of you guys? Understood? Are you getting this? What is happening? Okay. Now let's say 23/02/2024. Is that clear? I want to read this DDD hyphen MMM hyphen YYY. How will I write this? Text. DDD hyphen MMM hyphen DDD for 4 times, right? Yes or no? Is it coming? I can also do the same thing. Text of what? This with which format? This format. It is giving the same result. Right? Are you getting this? Understood? Okay. Now, measure date difference. Hey guys, my date of birth is 2nd February 1983. What is my date of birth? 2nd February. How old I am today? How many years old I am? How many months old I am? How many days old I am? So what we'll do here? We'll go with today. How do you go for today here? I want to find out years old. I want to find out months old. I want to find out days old. How many days back I was not known to Excel? Right? So what I'll say here? Date, div. Old date to current date with Y. What is it giving here? I am 42 years old. Yes or no? How many months old? Date, div. Old date to the current date with M. What is it giving here? I am 514 months old. Date, div. Old date to the current date with what? D. What does that mean? I am 15,654 days old. That is how the difference between two dates, we can find it out. Is that clear to all of you guys, everyone? Yes or no? Right. Now, date add. How will you add 5 days to the current date? What will you do here? Sorry? You will not use e-date. You will say this plus 5. Hello? Are you getting this, guys? Now, end of month also going to be same. This plus 5. But when you say 5 months to be added, what do you write here? E-date to this date with 5. Is that clear now? It is going to give me exact day after 5 months from now, which is 12th May 2026. But if you say end of month to this date with 5 months added, it is going to give me 5 months added, but last day of the month, which is 31st May 2026. Is that clear now? If I want to add 5 years, what I'll do here? E-date. 5 years means what? 5 into 12, 60 months. Yes or no? If I say end of month, how will I go for doing this? End of month. This with what? 5 into 12. What is it coming? 31st December 2035 years after. Yes or no? Right. Is this clear now, guys? Clear? Okay. Now we'll do a test here. I want to find out, insert insert, insert. I want to get card registration year. How will I get card registration year? Which function I'll use here? Year of what? Card registration year. Format cell, make it to a number here. Is it coming? Are you getting this, guys? Everyone? Now, I'll go for card registration month. Which function I'll use here? Month of is coming. I want to go for what? Card registration day. How to go for day here? Day function of what? Does it come? I want to go for card registration day in DDD, MMM, and YYY 4 times. How will you go for doing this? Text. This date value with what? DDD hyphen MMM hyphen. Does it work? Everyone? How to find out the age of the customer from date of birth? Which function will you use here? Date diff. The date of birth to today with what? Y. Format cell, make it to number. So what is it saying? This customer is 66 years old. Are you getting this, guys? Everyone? These are called data transformation. What do you call these, guys? You transform this data using what? Date time functions. Difficult? No. Now XLOOKUP. Few of you are asking for XLOOKUP, right? Let me tell you, guys, we never use XLOOKUP in real-time work. We never use XLOOKUP. We convert things to VLOOKUP and use VLOOKUP. But people ask, what is XLOOKUP? In VLOOKUP, we go from left to right. Left is a lookup value, then you go for right. In XLOOKUP, we'll go from value to the left. Are you getting it? So what does it mean? This is given customer ID. You want to get gender, age means right side. If you want to get postal code, state code, company, it is in left side. So how to get that? Using XLOOKUP. In the XLOOKUP, you want to get the company. What is the lookup value here? This. What is the lookup array? This is my lookup array. What is my return array? Return array is my company. Otherwise, 0. Give it like this. Enter. So ultimately what happens? This thing is going to fix, not change. This thing is also going to be fixed, not going to change. You drag it. Did you get the information, guys, here? For state code, how will you go for XLOOKUP? What is the lookup value? What's the lookup array? This table customer ID. Now, what is the return array? State code. Right. If not, what will happen? You will say 0. If the state code is not there, say 0. What is fixed in this case? This is fixed. And this is also my return array is also fixed. Is this clear? How to go for postal code? What do you write here? What is the lookup value? What is the lookup array? Custom ID from this table. Which is the lookup array? Return array. Postal code. If it is not there, then 0. What do you do here? What is fixed? What is fixed here? You drag them down. Does it work? In XLOOKUP, guys, when you say XLOOKUP, it goes from what? It is right to left. It is going from right to left. Yes or no? It has how many criteria? 4 criteria. What are these? Lookup value, then lookup array, then very nice return array, then if not. Yes or no? So ultimately, when you say this example here, when you say this example, What is lookup value? What is lookup value, guys, here? What is this? Lookup array. What is return array? And if not, what is the value? Is this clear? Okay. Shall we get into pivot table now? The last part for the today's discussion is pivot table. Clear? Hey guys, look at it. This is the last part of today's session, which is pivot table. X lookup is clear to all of you. V lookup is clear to all of you. All the character functions to find out the difference between two dates. Which function will use? Date diff. To add 5 months, 5 years to a date value, which function will use? E-date or end of month? Yes or no? To find the first name, last name from a full name, what we go for using there? Meet with what? Find. Why we use Excel with match function? Why we use Excel with match function?
Find index number.
Find the column index using the match. Yes or no? Did you understand the relative reference versus absolute reference? Clear? Absolute reference by rows and columns, it is also clear? Very good. Now we'll go for pivot table. It is given country as what? India. These are the laptop sold out in what? 2020, 2021. I want to find out what? The total sales, right? So what we use here? To get the count, we use count and count ifs. To get the sum, we use sum and sum ifs. It is clear to all of you? Now we'll talk about use of pivot summary. If I select this data, can you tell me India, Apple 2000, India in 2020, how many records are there? India in 2021, how many records are there? 3. India in 2020, what is the total sales? You have to make a sum of this. You have to go for sum ifs. It's very painful. We can select this data. We can go to insert. What do you want to see here? This is my data range. What is the data range? A1 to D17. I select this. Insert. I'll create a pivot table. I'll click on the pivot. It says that the table range is what? A1 to D17. It is completely absolute reference. System has taken care. This is the total data range. You want to create the pivot in the existing worksheet, new worksheet. If I have space, I will choose. Then I'll select this location here. Choose whether you want to analyze with multiple tables. I have only one table, so I'll not choose anything. This, okay. The moment you click on OK, it's saying that pivot table 1. To build a report, choose fields from the pivot table field list. This is pivot table field list. It shows all the field name, country, laptop, year, and sales. I want to bring country into what? Row. I want to bring sales into what? It is showing sum of sales. If I select this here, this is called my country. If I want to get the total sales, I'll use the function called sum if range is what? Right? What's the criteria? India. What is the sum range? Sales. What is fixed here? D1. If I drag this, India total sales is what? Japan total sales is what? Korea total sales is what? Rather doing this, what? Using pivot. Rather doing this sum if, I can get the result in what? Pivot. In the pivot, I'm dragging into the what? Row label. And dragging this sales field into what? Now, in this case, this is called dimension field. What do you call this? Dimension field is what? Country. This is called major field is what? No, sales field is called major field. Is that clear now? Now, in this table, guys, how many dimension fields are there? 3.
Yes.
You can see country-wise total sales. You can see laptop-wise total sales. You can see year-wise total sales. Yes or no? So these are called dimension. Only major field is what? Sales. I can select this data, insert to create a pivot table over here where you want to see laptop-wise total sales. You can select this data, insert, you can see existing location here where you can see year-wise total sales. So this is also dimension and this is the major field. So in this table, how many dimension fields we have? And how many major fields we have? I can see country-wise India, what is the average sales? What is the average sales is coming, guys, here? What is the average sales for India is coming? Let's take this data, go and create a pivot table here. Country, you will take the sales. Now in this sales, right click, summarize value, average. Is that clear? Selecting this value, format cell with number, 1000 comma separated, 0 decimal places. Does it make sense? Is that clear? Did you understand dimension versus measure? In this table, how many dimension fields are there? How many measure fields are there? Can I get country-wise how many laptops sold? I can create a report country-wise, number of laptops, unique laptops. How many? This is saying count. I can select the cells into what? Value. So it is a dimension field which you are taking as a what? Count. Cells you are taking as a value of what? Summarized by sum. So you can say this is country, rename country. This is called unique count of, and this is called total sales. Yes or no, guys? Is this clear? Now let's understand pivot table from this data. Customer ID, company, gender, age, state code, visits, and spend amount. How many dimension fields are there in this data? Dimension fields are there in this data. I'll show you here. Pay spatial, values, and say transpose. These are the columns. Customer ID, it can be count of what? Customers. It is called as what? Major. By company, you want to see the result? This is dimension. By gender, you want to see the result? This is going to be dimension. By age group, it is going to be by age group. You can see average age. Yes or no? By age group, you want to see that average. That is going to be both dimension and major. I'll show you how. State code is what? By state code. This is visits is what? Total visits, which is measure. Spend is what? Total spend. It is measure. Yes or no? I can transform this data to create one age underscore bucket. How will I go for this? If the age is greater than 60, what do you want to call them, guys, here? Old age. If age is greater than 40, you want to call them as what? Else, what do you want to call them? Are you getting this? So ultimately, what you created here, this is going to what, guys? By age bucket. This is called as what? Dimension. Clear now? Understood? So we had given this data. Now, how to go for using pivot row to value? I'll show you here. Copy this data, paste it here. Get company wise. Get company wise. You want to get what? Count of customers. Average age of the customers. Total visits and total spend. Is that clear now? Is that clear? In this by company wise, what is the dimension field here? Dimension field is what? Company. What is the first major field? Major field 1. Yes. Thank you. Whoever says that. Right? Second is what? Age. Third is what? This major field 2. Then spend. How will you get this result? Select anywhere, insert a pivot table to this. Correct? What are you taking here? Company into row. Customer ID into value. Right click, summarize value by what? Count. Then age is what? Value. This age will be what? Summarize value by average age. Then visits into what? Value, which is sum. Spend is what? Sum. So ultimately what you're saying here, by company, total customers, average age, total visits, and total spend. How to present your customer format cell or number format to make it to number with 0 decimals, 1000 comma separator. How to present average age, number format, make it a number with what? This average is. How to present total visits, it should be number format with what number 2? How to present a spend, it should be currency format as what? Let's say United States, USA currency dollar. Does it make sense? Clear now? Now, this is called row and value. When you say pivot table, it is row and value we are going, right? Now let's understand row, value, and column label. What does it mean? I select this. I create a pivot table here. I select company into row, gender into column. 2-dimension field. 1-dimension field into what? Row. Another dimension field in what? Column. I take customer ID, summarize value as what? Count. So it shows me what? Apollo. How many customers are there? Out of 580, how many female customers?
3.
What's the total customer base? How many female customer base? Male. And this is called row total. This is called grand total. This is called. Did you understand your pivot table, guys? Everyone, yes or no? Right? My question to you, get state code and company wise total spend. How will you get this output? Who can answer? Who can answer? I'll say insert a pivot table to this. Yes or no? I will say state code into row, company into column. I'll spend amount to. That's it. Yes or no, guys? I will say number format. Which format I'll use for this spend amount? Currency with what? Does it work? Everyone. This is row total. This is. Will you be able to answer my question now, guys? Pakka? Now the answer should be given from this table. Question is that, can you please tell me GSK as a company in Queensland, QLD, how much total spend happened? GSK in Queensland, what is the total spend happened? Easily you can answer that. If I ask you to answer this from this table, can you answer this? Since it is a pivot table, you can answer this easily. Can you tell me what is the total spend in company Cipla?
174,020.
This is coming by what column total? Can you tell me what is the total spend by the state code called QLD, Queensland?
4,480.
This is called row total. Can you tell me what is the overall spend by the customer? Yes or no? 1 point. Never say 16 lakhs. You're working for Deloitte, working with onshore partners, offshore partners. You will say 1 million. What do you say? 1.6 million. Don't say 1,000 lakhs. Time has gone. You're in MNCs now. Is that clear to all of you guys? Clear? Now, we will say row column to filter value. What does it mean? I'm looking at company wise customer ID. What should I summarize here? Count. Right? Now, I put this gender here. Can you see this? Okay. I give a filter on my state code and age bucket. Is it clear now? So when I say filter, what is that filter is coming at the top? Now this output can be filter state code. I'll say select by New South Wales. Done. I want to go for the age bucket, which is for the old age customers. I can see that here. So why we go for filter? because that helped me to filter the value, see the result here. Yes or no? If I say I want to go for West Australia, go for mid-age customer, I can select this here. I can find the result. This is called filter. Now this filter is painful. Why painful? When I select this, it is covering my pivot in the back. Right? Somehow it is not helping me. It is helping, but it's creating a distraction. How to avoid the distraction? You copy this data. I paste this here. I'll be using slicer. What I'll use here? Slicer. Go to pivot table. I want to see company-wise, gender-wise, count of customer. What is in the row label? What is in the column label? What is in the value field? Summarized by what? Very nice. I want to go for adding slicer. Instead of going filter, I will add insert at the top. Can you see? You have insert slicer is coming. I click on the slicer. I'll go by state code and age bucket. Can you see my slicers are here? Both are coming side to each other. Now I'll make a filter. New South Wales, old age customers coming. QLD, mid age customers coming. I can select QLD, New South Wales and West Australia by pressing Control key, all three. I can see the result. I can see mid age and old age customer. I can select both by pressing Control. So this is what is called as what? Slicer. Now the last one is called slicer connection. What is slicer connection? Let me show you here. Now we'll be making this dashboard interactive. We'll create this report interactive each other, right? What happened here? I created one pivot table here where I'm selecting by company, gender wise, count of customer. What I did here, guys? Count of customer. I create another pivot. I copy the same pivot and paste it here. But this time, instead of customer ID, I took it as what? Spent. Is that clear? Now, in this, I make it to number format as what? Number with 1000 comma separator. Clear now? I created this as what? Number format with what? As what? Dollar. In the first pivot, selecting this, I create a slicer. Slicer for what? State code and age bucket. What happened, guys, here? I created your age bucket and your state code as a slicer. It is coming from which pivot? This pivot. There are how many pivots in this? Pivot 1 and you have a pivot 2. Now, what is this happening? If you select here, it is changing here. Does it change here? You select this, it is changing. Does it change here? Because this pivot is not connected to the slicer. So you can go to this pivot, top, you can go for filter connection. What do you say? Where you want to give a filter connection to? Both. Now, if you give in this, anything you select here, that reflect to both. I have selected this data. I inserted a chart like this. Can you see this? Everyone, I selected this data and I created a chart like this. Okay. Are you getting this? Now I'll show you. These charts are interactive. When you select this, the charts are changing. Yes or no? Select this chart, make it to cluster. You change anything, it is changing to both. Can you see this? Because this pivot is interactive, charts are also interactive. Okay, done.